welcome to More Opposites React to Reddit Stories. I'm Courtney.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Ashley.
And today we have one that comes from relationship advice, but this one isn't a relationship between like a boyfriend and girlfriend, between romantic partners. It is a person asking about their relationship with their parents.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, I like that.
So you wait.
Oh.
Okay, so this is titled Clinically Insane Conversation with My Parents, parentheses, me, female 24, them, female 53, and male 55.
Guys, I'm really nervous, though, that she's going to say clinically insane conversation. It's going to be like, oh my gosh, I talked to my kids about this yesterday.
All right. So it says, sorry, I'm really shaky, but I'm trying to picture what just happened. I'm a female 24 and about to be 25, living with my parents right now because it's my semester break and I didn't want to be alone in another city for weeks, also to see my friends. Since I was 12, I love doing makeup, never crazy, but also not your typical clean girl look, more alternative. I love to do medium-sized eyeliner, white eyeshadow, a nude lip, and a cool contour with a blue-toned highlighter. Today I did my base makeup, so just lip and foundation and contour and powder, and went downstairs to eat since it was already 5 p.m. and I haven't eaten because I slept and studied.
At 5 p.m.?
Yeah, so that's kind of a clue of where this is going. It's 5 p.m. and she's just barely getting her day started.
Yeah. Also, why would you bother putting makeup on at that
Just
point?
to eat.
Yeah, she's almost 25, just barely started her day at 5 p.m.
Okay.
Living with her parents.
Hey, you know, it's a choice. It's fine. Maybe she wants to be a DJ or something.
So my podcast that I like to listen to called The Date with Dateline, they have a couple catchphrases based on like all the many Datelines they've watched, and one of them is "Don't date a DJ."
That's fair, but maybe that's her passion.
Don't date a DJ. Yeah. My dad has already been weird lately, so I'm not surprised that they're not saying anything. But then my mom gets up, leans next to me on the counter, and just looks at me with a stupid face. I ask, "What's up?" And she just says, "I'm looking at your black nose, your dirty black nose. It looks like you dipped it straight in dirt or something." So I'm guessing the contour on her nose, maybe she
didn't blend it?
She didn't blend it out yet. I'm shocked, but I'm also hungry and I don't care. So I just replied, "Thanks for your unsolicited and unwanted opinion." That's where everything went wrong. Both my dad and her, parentheses, but mainly her, went off on how my generation is ridiculously sensitive and that they're never allowed to say or criticize anything and should just, quote, shut their fucking mouth, and that I cannot take criticism. She told me multiple times for years that she doesn't like that I wear makeup, which is an insane boundary overcrossing. Period. I don't know what that means. So I'm guessing she's saying she's told me for years that she doesn't like my makeup, and the OP considers this crossing a boundary.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with her parents that she's overly sensitive.
Yeah.
Yes. Who do you think you are to tell me what to paint on my face?
Her parents and landlord.
Exactly. Again, I'm about to be 25.
So don't be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So even now, I don't even know what to write or think. I'm very angry. My dad said, at least at home, I should not wear makeup because they never see me without it, and why do I do it? I'm autistic, and I told them basically wearing makeup.
You want to know what's funny? Is when you started this, I was like, that sounds like somebody who's autistic, because I know that a lot of autistic girls get super duper, like, makeup becomes their special interest.
Although I do also want to know, because there's this thing that happens with the younger generation, which is where they'll say, I'm autistic or I have ADHD, but they have not actually gotten evaluated for it.
Yes, no, they just like...
They've self-diagnosed.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of like millennials and thinking that we're all gluten intolerant. Back 10
It was
years
the
ago.
latest
people-
fad.
I
people come up with,
begrudgingly
like,
admit I'm a millennial,
yeah,
so...
people
I
are like,
love
I'm
that I'm a
gluten
millennial.
intolerant. It's like, no, you're not.
I'm so on the cusp that I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. So I'm autistic, and I told them basically wearing makeup gets me started into the day, and it makes me feel productive and awake, and they literally just laughed at me, which hurt me a lot, to be honest. Then he also said if I need makeup to feel productive, then I might need professional help. Yeah, that's fair.
I'm seeing some flaws in both of them.
Yeah. My mom asked me multiple times throughout the years why I do it, but every time I explain why I do it, she doesn't seem to care and basically just wanted to tell me again how much she hates it. Also, why do I even need a reason to wear makeup? It's fun and makes me happy. That's true. But even that, they do not accept. It is their generation that always feels entitled to tell other people what to do. But since they always think they're right, I don't know what to even say because it doesn't come through to them. I'm super shocked at this crazy conversation because other than that, my parents are fairly normal and easy to get along with, and they're always there to support me, especially financially. I don't know what to do because I do not want to defend myself for stupid shit like this, but also they paint me as the crazy one that can't take, quote, criticism. Any advice from outside helps.
I think that they're both wrong here.
Yeah.
I do think she is super sensitive.
Yeah.
Maybe because there's been plenty of times where all of our family members have been like, Whitney, blend. Or I've told my daughter, like, what are we doing? What are we
What's
trying?
happening here?
Yes. What are we experimenting with? Because it's not landing.
Right.
Which I feel like as a family member, you should. That is the equivalent of saying, if you had a booger in your nose, I would tell you.
Yeah.
It's out of love
Because
that
I
you're
love
like,
you.
Yeah. Now, if she is doing like kind of, because it sounds like she's doing out there makeup, so
Yes,
maybe her
she's doing
mom's like, you look like a clown, but it's a choice.
Yes.
You know,
the
as
vibe
opposed to
that
like,
sorry, the vibe that I'm getting from the parents almost, because if they're constantly being like, why don't you just not wear makeup around here, is I almost feel like that they are doing a poor job of communicating that they miss seeing their daughter.
Yeah,
Yes, I got that
face.
vibe too.
Yeah.
Like, I love your face.
I miss seeing you unpainted.
Yeah.
Without the costume.
I think that you are, like, you're so great at doing makeup. Like, if they had the emotional or communicative skills to say, you are incredible at doing makeup. I love that you have a passion for that. I would just like to see you with a clean face sometimes because you're my daughter and it's hard to recognize you with the mask on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but they're not doing a great job. They're criticizing the makeup and criticizing something she's
Yeah.
passionate about, and so she's internalizing that as personal criticism.
Which makes sense, as she should, yeah.
And if she feels like, she's herself, the makeup is herself, then it's kind of like, well, you just don't want to see me for myself. But, as a mom, I kind of think if one of my kids did that, like, I would be like, sometimes I like to think of it like this way, like, I worked really hard to make that face, and I would like to see it.
Right.
You know?
Well, I mean, I do know, like, Mom used to tell me, like, get your hair out of your face. Because I always, like, had a blanket of hair in front of my face. And it was just something like Mom did. I never took off
your hair out of your face.
Yeah, just get your. I want to see your pretty face. And so I think you're right, where they are just not communicating. And I can see, like, it could be a cultural thing for them too, that it's like makeup is not a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
They could see it as kind of a morality thing.
Yeah.
Well, and if she's doing like alt makeup, like, it sounds to me like if she's doing alt makeup
Sounds
where
like
it's like
costume
she's
makeup.
doing, you know what I mean? Like, because I was a professional makeup artist for a long time, and if you're doing, like, it sounds to me like she was doing a foundation, but maybe like a gray contour or something like that, where it's like, so then her mom's be like, I can see your black nose. Like, it's like she could see how the sausage was made a little bit, and it's
I could see, when I heard the black nose, I was like, oh, girl, you just need to blend that in a little bit.
Because it sounds like she went downstairs before her makeup was fully done. Like, she's like, I just did my base makeup. I haven't finished yet. I just went down to eat.
Well,
right?
yeah. So I have no problem with the parents like, girl, you look crazy. If she is looking crazy, but then where I feel sad is it's like if they're laughing at her, like, that's mean.
Yeah, well, and that's
it's like they're both wrong.
It all comes down to appropriate communication.
Yeah.
Like, say what you want, which is probably to see your daughter's face unmade up because you haven't seen her in years. She's always looking like this, right? Mm-hmm. And if you say, hey, hey, as a gift for Christmas, can you have a clean face? Because I love you so much and I haven't seen you like that. That would be a really great gift to me.
Yeah.
Versus what they're saying it in a critical way and in a nasty way. So then she's getting super defensive and just wanting to wear makeup even more to be defiant.
Yes.
And nobody's winning, really.
I do
it's
like
not
that she
effective.
still acknowledged, like, this is their sticking point. Like, the rest,
the rest
everything
of
is
the
fine.
the rest of the way.
And that's what makes me feel like it's just something where it's like they
Not
really miss
communicated.
seeing her.
Yeah. They
That's
miss seeing your face.
It's coming from a sweet place, but they're just communicating it ineffectively. And to me, if she's 20-something, like, so they're Gen X maybe, and it's not like they're like boomers or anything, but like, again, there's no problem with boomers, there's no problem with anybody, right? But it's just like, I feel like the older, as you get into older and older generations, in particular Gen X, who were basically abandoned as children, like, you're not going to have the best communication skills. You're not going to have the best self-awareness about, oh, this is what I'm feeling, so this is how I communicate it, like, you were basically just left alone growing up, so you you don't necessarily have the school, you didn't have anybody modeling for you how to communicate, and you don't, unless you put a lot of effort into developing those skills, you're basically just gonna, and quite frankly, Gen X is very hysterically, mockery is how you communicate.
I know, I kind of love that.
That's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
And since I'm so borderline on Gen X, a lot of my interactions are with Gen X people, you know what I mean? So I think that's why I understand it a little bit, because it's like, yeah, we're just gonna mock the shit out of you until you comply. That's how you get your way.
That is true.
You know what I mean? Like that is
a tactic.
It's very generational. Just mock someone within an inch of their lives, and then they'll do what you want.
Yes, I love that.
And it works. And it's also how you show love. Mockery. It works on all levels.
Yes. She should be so lucky to be this loved.
She should be so lucky to receive our love in this fashion.
Yes.
I see. I feel bad for both of them, but
it's crappy communication.
Yeah. Now there is, I guess, the other side of this, which is, it could, giving kind of the parents the benefit of the doubt, being like, it's just, I want to see your face, right? Uh-huh. But then there's also the flip side of where, like, sometimes there are parents who just do not want to accept their child for who they are. Like, I like to do crazy makeup or something like that. So it could also, because, like, like there would be sometimes like a child will come out as gay or something like that, and the parents would be like, no, you just haven't met the right girl yet, that sort of thing. So I'm hoping that it's more like, we just want to see your
I'm sure
face, as opposed
to,
it is. We're rejecting you for who you're presenting them.
If they sound like, if they were that type of people, though,
I feel like she would have issues.
There would be more issues.
Yeah,
if this is her sticking point.
Yeah, because if makeup is the problem, then guys, let's keep it in perspective.
Because it sounds, she didn't even mention her clothes or anything like that. It's just the makeup.
And they're still, and they're super supportive of me.
Yes.
They're super, you know what I mean? Like, if she's taking the time to say how supportive they are and everything else, then it's probably literally just that they want to see her and they can't communicate it. Because if they were any other way where it's like, we don't like, the choices that you make and all these things, like, they would have much more to say, and she would have much less support to give them, even when she's complaining about them.
Yeah, that's true. This seems like just about makeup.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck, OP.
Well, yeah. So here are some notable comments, which is that you are about to turn 25 years old. If you don't like living with your parents, it's time for you to become 100% financially independent.
Also true.
Until then, you need to learn to let these critiques slide off your shoulders. You are currently financially shackled to your parents. It's your responsibility to free yourself. I have a friend in her late 50s still shackled to her father financially. She has a job that pays for all of her living expenses and then some, but not for the high price of things. They go on a whole tangent about this person, but basically it's you're living under your parents' roof. Deal with it.
Yeah, and if your parents are supporting you financially, guess what? If they're going to say something to you, the response should not be a snappy clap back. It should just be like, I didn't blend, or I'm
not done with it yet. Just give me a second. Yeah. So, and then another one notable comment is, you're 24, and unfortunately, while you still live under their roof, they will still see you as a child. The only real solution here is to move out. Yeah, which is kind of true. Like especially when you're in school, like in college, when you move back home for
it's
even
different.
Temporarily, it's different. But your parents still don't see you as a full adult.
Right?
They're like, you're under our roof still.
Well, especially if they're paying for college too.
Exactly.
Well, but I also don't even think it's that, like, the financial aspect. I mean, I'm just looking at when my kid's going to leave.
Yeah.
When she comes home, I will automatically, just because she's home, now I'm going to be like, okay, well, when are you going to get home? Because I'm not going to sleep until I know you're home.
I had a 10 o'clock curfew. I had a 10 o'clock curfew until I left for college.
Yeah.
And then when I was in college, I was an adult in college, but if I came home for any breaks, I had to be home by midnight. And it was like, Mom basically said, I would be upset because I was like, none of my friends have a curfew. Like, I'm an adult.
Because your friends were not loved as much as you.
Well, I was like, none of my friends have a curfew. I'm an adult. Why do I have to have a curfew when I'm home from college? And when she explained it to me, that she was like, listen, when you're at college, like, you're not under my roof, you're away, and I can fall asleep. But she goes, when you're here, I can't fall asleep until I know that you're home. And so it's hard for me because I'm not getting as much sleep. And so once she explained that to me, I was like, oh, okay.
Nobody talks about, like, the teenager phase of, like everybody talks about the young babies and sleep deprivation. It's like, you got another time of sleep deprivation where you've got one teenager that's up at 5 a.m. and then one that's not getting home till midnight. And it's like, and
one 5-year-old who still wakes up in the middle of the night.
Yes. And so day after day after day, it's taxing, and so it's like I can understand that.
Yeah, and I will say there is a comment exchange that makes me think that this person is also just pretty immature for their age, which is somebody says it's their house, their rules. You don't like it, don't stay with them.
Exactly.
Right? But the OP replies, but then they could also demand that I shave my head, for example. No. And it's
yes,
like,
they could.
But they're not going
exactly.
to. Like, you're using a straw man argument there.
Yeah, and the person replies, that's a false equivalence. You can't demand to be treated like an adult while living like a dependent. Sleeping all day, coming downstairs at 5 p.m., expecting food, then acting shocked that your parents have opinions and treat you like a child. If you don't like their comments, the solution isn't endless arguments about, quote, boundaries. It's moving out. Adults who control their own lives also control their own housing. Until then, yes, it's their house, and if it makes you miserable, the grown-up move is to leave, not to keep fighting the same fight and calling everyone else, quote, clinically insane.
Yeah,
the fact
I
that
did forget that she said this was insane.
Like, that's wild.
And I also forgot that she didn't even grace them with their presents till 5 a.m. or
Yeah.
5 p.m. That's ridiculous.
And only came downstairs looking for food that I'm guessing she didn't make.
Probably not, no.
Yeah, oh, darling.
That's the funny thing is, it's like, when we were at my in-laws' house, there were adult children asking my 80-year-old mother-in-law, like, oh, can you make me eggs? Can you make me this? And I was like, what are you doing? Like, she has mobility issues, and you're asking her to get up and cook for you just because you're her child and you're home? Like, I get that she likes to do that, but, like, no.
Right? You should, at some point, you should be serving her. Now, I do also understand the mindset of, like, you're coming home, you kind of default.
We're all over 40 years old at this point.
Yes.
Stand up, serve your mother, do your own dishes.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, hopefully OP can get herself figured out.
Seriously. Yeah. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Don't be adult children.
You know what, OP? You should start your own makeup tutorial channel if you're that into it, and then you can get your own money and move out of your mom's house. And then other people, and when she criticizes your makeup, you can go, actually, all these people think I'm pretty good.
And you can also be like, it's my job.
Put your money where your mouth is.
There we go. See you later.
Bye.